the Institute is expected to take leadership in the area of cancer prevention, research, and treatment in the country. It is expected that the Institute will liaise with all the stakeholders that have interest in cancer in the country, coordinate their action, put it together, and make it a fruitful one for the country.
Well, thank you. Now, one key thing that is of very big interest, because the population of people with cancer and the survival rate of people with cancer in low middle income countries is very, very poor, and Nigeria is not an exemption to that. We have always had this back and forth conversation on this cancer fund, cancer no fund, cancer health fund, yeah? Now that you have taken the lead, because there's a lot of accountability that we kept asking about prior to you coming. So it's before you came, before you took on this role, we have been going on about the Cancer Health Fund, how is it managed and how is it reaching out to people and why is data not available. So now that you have taken the lead, how do you intend to get this out in such a way that there is equity, there's fairness, there is access within the limitations, and what are your plans on partnerships? Because you can't fund a cancer patient as an organization on your own.
All right. So thank you very much for the question. Now, in line with the renewed top agenda of the Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, that is His Excellency Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and with the great effort of his ministers, that is Prof. Pate and Dr. Tunji Alausa, during the launching of the 5-year cancer strategic plan, Dr. Tunji Alausa, that is the State Minister for Health and Social Economy, categorically stated that the Cancer Health Fund has been moved. He sought the approval from Mr. President, and Mr. President has given the approval to move the Cancer Health Fund from the Federal Ministry of Health to NICRAT. And that was done actually because of some of the bureaucratic bottleneck that some of our cancer patients are facing, because of there are so many things, so many problems that the Federal Ministry of Health are concerned with. So now that we have the government of the day established the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment to handle cancer activities in the country. Now, to ensure that the Institute has carried out its mandate and its function in line with the renewed hope agenda of the Mr. President, the Ahmed Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, of alleviating the suffering of cancer patients and making their treatment more accessible and affordable in the country, he has given that directive. The Institute has already started working rigorously, very closely with the National Health Insurance Scheme. In fact, a committee has been set between the two agencies to ensure a smoother and a hitch-free model or modality through which those indigent patients can be identified. That is when they come at the various treatment centers within the country, passion out how to transfer the funds or transfer the required treatment. These are the surgery, the chemotherapy, and radiotherapy services to this patient. Currently, we are on it, and we are working on that. The legislature, that is National Assembly, they have reiterated their support to increasing the Cancer Health Fund to double the amount of what it is currently is, and also to add another Cancer Health Fund. We have the childhood cancers,
Yeah.
which are almost 80% curable. So after a very long discussion, we agreed to set up that budget line also to be managed by NICRA, so that any child that come up with cancer in the country can comfortably walk into the functional cancers that we have in the country, and a substantial amount is going to be channeled from the government for the treatment of that child. So that you see the problem of affordability and access to this treatment by these children and their parents is going to be remarkably or markedly taken care of or removed. So you see, it's actually a very big, applaudable effort by the government of the day. That I've ensured. I've visited twice budget office, and I can assure you the current DG budget is working insidiously to make sure that that childhood cancer health fund is maintained on the budget line of the National Health Insurance Scheme, along with that of the adults, that is the cancer health fund. So these are two good things that are coming as actually pronounced by Dr. Tunji Alausa, the State Minister for Health and Social Welfare.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've just been able to at least help the children or parents of children with cancer recognize that they can seek help, which is something that is not known. So let's hope that those of us that watch this are able to share this information and stop parents from running all around believing what they shouldn't when they can just easily access or find the nearest place to access help. So on that note, let's take a break now. We're going to be taking a short break now, and we will be coming back soon to continue this conversation with the DG. We'll continue it in a few minutes. Welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. Together we fight, together we win. Let's now start to talk about the cervical cancer. How has the rollout started off? So let me be very specific. Started off in October during the International Cancer Week was when we did the rollout, which was October. How has that been so far, and what are the challenges being experienced with this rollout?
Thank you very much, Dr. Dennis. I think the rollout of HPV vaccine is actually among one out of all the successes that the country under the current dispensation was able to achieve. The Honorable Minister for Health and Social Economy, Prof. Ali Pate, has made it clearly that the Federal Ministry of Health, under his watch, is not going to let any stone unturned in the area of ensuring that the life and safety of the Nigerians is actually taken well care of. Now, one of the things that is this HPV vaccine, which is known to prevent in totality the risks of our younger girls coming up with cervical cancer. If we can remember, the scourge of cervical cancer, it's the burden one, it's very high in the country. And this is one of the vaccine preventable cancers that we have in the country. That once you take this vaccine, it can prevent you from coming up with the disease, because the agent that is causing this is a virus. which is called human papillomavirus. So it was clearly introduced into the country, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the 24th of October. And since the launching of that vaccine by our mother, Senator Remi Tinubu, and the First Lady of Nigeria, there was a massive rollout of the vaccine to those areas within the city that needed it the most. But it's going to be rolled out in 17 countries in 2 phases. After the mass rollout, then it's going to be involved, or it's going to be included in the national immunization program within the country, so that wherever you need it, right from the primary, secondary, and tertiary healthcare, you can just go and your children can have the vaccine. The aim here is to protect their younger age that are not hitherto exposed sexually to those viruses. So if we can catch them young and immunize them, give them that immunity against that human papilloma vaccine, or the vaccine can completely wipe out the viruses that they are going to contact during their, as they move towards their adulthood life. So you can see it confers a kind of immunity. And the importance of this is that in terms of morbidity and mortality, if you look at what is happening in the country, cervical cancer is one of the cancers acceptable, that a vaccine that is prevented, acceptable, that a vaccine that is prevented, that can prevent a vaccine preventable disease like cervical cancer is still threatening the life of individuals, younger women population in the country. So rolling out this vaccine is actually a great achievement, a great success of this our government, in line with the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President. Actually, this vaccine, if it has anything, any problem regarding the fertility that people are going and moving around, it wouldn't have passed through our regulatory agencies that are currently working insidiously to take out any drug or food that is found to contain some hazardous chemicals within them. Before this drug is launched, it passes through NAFDAC, and you know it is the responsibility of the NAFDAC to actually pass all their the food and drug contents that are coming into the country for consumption, to pass through their research lab and accredit such drugs. So ours is to call on our people that please and please allow your girl child to be immunized with this very important vaccine that we have in the country. The WHO has already said 2030 for the elimination of cervical cancer in the country. One of the key ways of achieving that by 2030 is by taking this vaccine, by conferring or by giving our children, girl child, the immunity, the protection from this cervical cancer. And it's very important to know that this HPV vaccine does not only give protection against cervical cancer, it also gives protection about, it also gives protection for vaginal cancers, vulval cancer. So people, and sometimes even warts. You know, we have vaginal warts, and so you say you see it's a win-win situation, and it's coming free to the country. And because the government of the day had to spend a huge amount of money in with the support of God, that is why the quantity we currently have will not extend to reach out to the male population that we have, because even men, you know, can benefit from the vaccines, and sometimes even the elderly women beyond 9 to 14 years. But because this is what we have, and this is where the country is starting, we don't want other countries, we don't want to be left behind. Now considering the scourge, morbidity and mortality of cancer, and the projections that by the year 2030, that the current cancer burden that we have in the world is going to be doubled. And 75% of the burden is going to come up within the low and middle income countries. So this is one of the major ways that the government of the day, the government of the country, is taking to actually reduce the burden of cancer and vis-a-vis morbidity and mortality in the country.
So, thank you, Prof, for that. That was quite a nice long lecture. So to those out there who are worried about the vaccine, there are two messages I have for you. Firstly, it is safer to have the vaccine than to have cancer. I live with cancer. Secondly, as a parent of children or girls, I will tell you my daughters have had the vaccine, and of the daughters that have had the vaccine, one of them has also married and had children. So all these myths, there's never a perfect 100%, but at least give yourself a fighting chance. So those who are afraid of taking the vaccine, please take the vaccine. It is best for you, and people like me are telling you, we know what it is to have cancer. It's not a nice journey, and it's more expensive than the vaccine. All right, so just before we end, I'm going to ask you one question. If I was to look for a specific thing that you want the advocate community, especially the cancer patient advocate. You see, a lot of people, I always try to make people understand that if a cancer patient talks about the disease, it's more likely to be a lot easier than everybody else, because we are sitting in the chair. So if you are going to give advocates an assignment, what do you want them to do to help this campaign?
Okay. I will actually want the cancer advocates that we have in the country to reach out to the nook and crannies of the country's vaccines and to demystify the myths that and all those barriers that we currently have which are very much erroneous, to educate them that these are actually false and nothing but false. You have just declared that all your girls took the vaccines and one has given birth. There are many of children, people that have taken the vaccines and they have given birth, and they are up and doing currently running down with their babies. If people shouldn't even forget what happened during the COVID-19, I always would say there were a lot of advocacy that we shouldn't take the vaccine. Now, if you take it, you will die before your next birthday. And here we are. I took it like how many years? I've seen 2 or 3 of my birthdays. So you see, it's
I've taken 6. I've taken 6.
So you see.
I just took one of recent. No.
You see. So
prevention is better than cure.
Yeah. So all we want is for our advocates to continuously reach out. Our people in the community, they should reach out to the malams, the pastors, the rural health, all the people, the key stakeholders in this, to educate them on the importance of this vaccine and demystify all the erroneous beliefs that the people, the information that has been propagating currently in the country. So once they have done that, they have actually reduced our work. That is, to protect the girl child.
Thank you for your time this afternoon. Together we fight, together we win. I keep saying this to those out there. I want to thank our special guest. It's one-to-one, also one-on-one with our DG of NICRAT, Professor Malami. That's what I call him. Thank you for joining us. To all of you out there, you can find us on our social media handles. And Prof, can you tell NICRAT to tag us so that we can tag you with all your work? Because we're done with you. We can't tag NICRAT on it. They are not allowing us to tag you. So I hope they will allow us to tag you on this one as well, so we can put you on it and then people can see it. On our social media handles, you can find us Common Cancer Foundation, and we will make sure NICRAT is also tagged on this as well, so that the messages are clear. It's one voice we're speaking from. Thank you all viewers for being with us. You can follow us on our Instagram, social media, any of them. Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, you'll find us there. Just please save your life, share information, make sure that you are part of this drive. And to Prof, we want to say thank you very much for your time,
Thank you.
your drive, and your determination to help us.
That's my pleasure. Take care.
Have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this edition of our program, Timeless Conversations. Today, my guest is someone who has played such a significant role in the development of hip-hop music in Nigeria, which has actually now transformed into what is popularly called Afrobeats with the S. You understand me? And today he is functioning not directly as a practicing musician, and we'll get into that, but he's functioning as an administrator of sorts in the world of music. He is currently the president of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, PMAN. Let's welcome together Pretty Okafor.
Thank you so much.
How are you
Thank
doing?
you for having me. I'm good.
Nice to see you. If you recall, there was a duo called Junior and Pretty back in the day, and they caught the nation by storm. Their music was very original, the songwriting was simple, direct, and everyday. Nigerians related to it. There was one of their major hits. There was Monica Monica, and then after that was Bolanle. But I'm going to ask him a question now. How were you able to cope with the loss of your brother, friend, colleague, Junior?
It wasn't easy. I think till date it still affected me because we started as teenagers. Our first album were teenagers.
Yes.
With the Monica Monica thing, and so that means we grew up as children till when we became teenagers and to adulthood. So we've known each other for close to like 40 years. Then we're used to combining in the craft of songwriting, creating rhymes. We were the first people that started creating rhymes from our local content and all that.
Yes.
So the encouragement, may he so rest in peace. When Junior left, the encouragement wasn't there anymore. But I had so much responsibilities to handle. I had to now look after his family, my family, and the extended family. So it was a huge tax, but I thank God I survived it.
Yeah, one of the things that happened to you was that you went quiet, very quiet, and you look quiet naturally. So
I'm quiet.
Yeah. So you went quiet.
No, not really. I didn't go quiet. Like I said, I had to concentrate on building companies because Junior wasn't around. So making money from what we were doing, because from playing the concerts, we started producing and anchoring Benson & Hedges Golden Tones.
Yes,
you
I remember that.
So we're still doing that when he had that crash and passed. So I woke up one day, I just got irritated or frustrated, and I resigned. I don't want to work with.
That's going quiet.
Eh?
That's going quiet.
Yeah, but I went quiet now, concentrating, paying attention to build companies, to build structure
So what companies were you building?
Okay, I was building Pretty Boy Entertainment. Pretty Boy Entertainment is the biggest. Pretty Boy Entertainment used to produce Mega Jam.
Okay.
So built Pretty Boy Entertainment, built Red Worldwide, and a whole lot. Red Worldwide is a marketing communication agency. So I was paying attention, building all those structures, making money anyway, so I could look after.
You could satisfy the responsibilities.
Responsibilities
that had fallen on you.
Yeah, and again, also remember at that era they weren't making much money. We weren't making much money like this. This youths are making now. So you had to do a whole lot and pay attention, be focused to succeed in those things.
You guys were first striking at the glass ceiling. These guys shattered it.
Yeah. So you could say we prepared the path for them to excel, and that's why till today I get excited. I'm happy with what is happening with our music scene and the growth.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, having seen what you did back in the day, how do you feel with the exponential growth that could only have been dreamt up back then?
I'm sure wherever Junior is, he's very, very excited, because while we were 1989, 1990, while we were working seriously to build this same genre of music, what we wanted to do was, how can we surpass the growth of reggae music? We're in Nigeria, so every other brand of music is excelling, but no one has crossed Nigeria or crossed Africa. But reggae was everywhere.
Reggae came from everywhere.
Yes, so we wanted to create a genre that can beat reggae. Though it didn't happen while we were still performing, but it has happened now.
Yes.
Like I said, Jen is very, very happy wherever he is. And I'm excited because what we planned, like I keep telling people, what happened to Afrobeat now was a predetermined progress. It was a predetermined structure that me and Junior built. We were chasing it. But again, if you're building something, I learned it with experience, if you're building something that is fantastic, you might not be the one that will take it.
It doesn't
there.
usually happen like
No,
that.
So where the music industry is now, I'm excited, I'm proud. I keep telling it to everybody, just
Yeah.
do what you can do that is your part, and the rest will take care of itself.
I'll take up one thing you said. You said something about collaborative songwriting, right? Between you and Junior
Yeah.
in his lifetime. Is there the hope that the songwriting segment of the performing arts would be built up to international standards where people can write songs, give to somebody, license to somebody else to sing, and then they make money from it? Or they just have to keep selling?
No. It's already happening.
It is?
It is already happening. Like, luckily, I'm the president of the Performing Musicians Employers Association of Nigeria. Now, PMAN is not a music association. It's a trade union. It's the only trade union in creative industry.
Okay.
It's entertainment industry. So, now going through that and also working, like a whole lot of people, like, okay, we know pretty what he can do. We try to portray and push forward where songwriters are making money, composers are making money.
Okay.
They are sharing, splitting revenues when it comes to royalties. So now, if you write song, you don't just write and they pay you off. You write and share split royalties. There's a split contract.
Okay.
So once that song start raking in billions, trillions,
No, you
you're
can
part
even
of it.
start with thousands.
Yes, but you start
Yes.
making money. So there's a whole lot of the songwriters now
Okay.
that don't just write song and they pay them 1p. No, they write song and they do a contract.
Okay.
They can also pay them money, but they do a contract, and the contract is the split sheet
Okay.
contract that they will do with the artist. So once the song goes viral, the songwriter is also making money.
Is also making money, which brings me to this point, and that is that there used to be this issue of royalty, collection of royalty, and all that. And recently, I think MCSN has been recognized as the only collecting society in the country licensed to operate within the country. Is PMAN part of that, or how does that impact PMAN and its members?
First, if getting into the system, if and knowing what the structure of PMAN, or authority of PMAN is, if PMAN does not agree, have a contract with you, you cannot collect from musicians.
Okay.
That's one thing for sure. So what MCSN is doing, because there's an agreement between PMAN and MCSN to collect for our members.
Okay.
And because we're a trade union, for a member means whether registered or non-registered musicians. So MCSN is actually the ones that are licensed right now to collect royalties for musicians. And PMAN supervises that collection. PMAN makes sure that the corporate bodies pay. MCSN collects, and MCSN distributes to the members, to the owners of the
rights.
Of the rights, yeah.
Okay. Now, the process of collection should suggest that there's some level of registration, and you seem to have alluded to it when you said that whether you are a registered member or unregistered member.
That's for PMAN. That's for PMAN.
I'm going to PMAN. So how does PMAN ensure that all musicians register?
Now, if you don't have to be a PMAN member before releasing a song. That's but our work is to monitor that structure, that scene, that music, and music entrepreneurship and music performance. That's what we do. So, but to collect your royalties. Now, they've been collecting royalties. Some of them don't register in Nigeria. Some of them register outside.
Outside, yes.
But first, to collect your royalties, which is not your master royalties, is your mechanical royalties, your performance royalties, your digital royalties, or your needle time. We call it neighboring right royalty, but it's needle time royalty for you and your members. For you to collect that, you need a CMO, a copyright management organization, to be able to collect that. And for you to collect that and register in your account, you need to be a member of the CMO.
Okay, in this instance,
MCSN.
MCSN.
You need to be a member because MCSN has a reciprocal agreement with other CMOs around the world.
Around the world. Okay.
So when they collect rights of Nigerian musicians and all that, they channel it to MCSN. MCSN collects it from them and distributes. So for you to get your money in Nigeria, not just collecting in South Africa or in Ghana or that, to collect it from Nigeria, you need to be a registered member of MCSN.
Okay, so that's MCSN. Now, PMAN, is membership open to anyone who is into music, or who is an instrumentalist, or who is what? And how does that happen?
Now, to be a PMAN member, you need to be a musician. You need to be a music practitioner. You need to be a music producer. You need to be a music director. You need to be a music promoter.
A promoter?
Yeah. Because the union accommodates people that work around music.
Okay, around music.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it. Your DJs, your dancers. Now, the reason why they created that body, and I'm sure when my leaders created it, they didn't, maybe where it was just me and my team that found out that we're actually a trade union, not an association. They were calling it an association until we got hold of the certificates and all that. Now, the reason for government to give PMAN that certificate is so that you could protect the rights of the musicians and the music practitioners.
Okay.
So the music practitioners could be all those people that I mentioned. And why they need to register so that PMAN can take care of their welfare. Now, like what we created recently, once you register, you get automatic medical insurance. You get a life insurance in case of eventualities. You get a pension plan in case when you get to 65 to 70 and you want to retire from active performance. Then you also get a backup for legal assistance in case of contractual issues. If you know, recently since we came up, it has died down. Contractual issues, then visa assistance. Also, PMAN is the only body that can give you a notary document that will make any country give you a work permit to do your tour. So if you're going tours around the world or any country, they definitely need a work permit in that country. Okay. And the only union or association that can give it to you
from here
is a PMAN.
So now, you see where you spoke about welfare. You will come to expatiate on it, but let's talk about what propelled you to run for the presidency of PMAN.
Wanted to do things the right way. I'm this person that believes that our country can be the biggest and the most beautiful country on planet Earth if we have fantastic leaders. So I've always said that. I've always worked towards that because I'm saying this because of how I've been able to manage my own company. Wanted to do something differently. The union was lying fallow until I was called upon. And I'll tell you again, they called me because I was successful in my own business.
What is the
elders in PMAN.
Name them. A few of them.
Kenny George, Zima Coy, Murphy Van Anthony. That's the era when they were having. Okay. So I came in and I said, okay, let's look at it. But we were able to build the structure now because I came in with the business background attitude. I came in and they were using some kind of funny lawyers, and I said, no, I need to bring my personal lawyer in here. I need to bring my personal accountant. I need to bring my personal finance director. So we started adjusting. We worked so hard, and we wanted to prove that, yeah, there might be some mistakes formally, but we're here now to take the union forward. And everybody can testify to what has happened. Recently, we purchased the first ever P-Man edifice for the past 40 years. And we moved the headquarters from Ikeja to the island. And then we're now springing up radio stations both in Lagos and Abuja. So
you have radio stations that are yours? Oh, that's good. Now, what's the significance of moving from Ikeja to the island?
Okay, we wanted to. I'm the middle school. If I should use the word, there's old school, there's new school, there's middle school. So me, Junior, and the rest of Sonny Neji,
people of your
Zaki, we're middle school. We're not new school. So actually, they voted us out, the younger ones. We have these other younger ones, Roger Man, Asha Gangali, and the rest.
Yes.
So when we got the fund to purchase the property, so I wanted to buy it in Ikeja. Okay. But the way I run the association, I run an open office. So we all voted. And I found out that it was only me and Sonny Neji that voted for Ikeja. The rest voted for Island. Like, what are we going to be doing on the island? What are we going to, blah, 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 blah. But these boys sat us down and made us understand that the music industry has moved from Ikeja to Lekki. So if we want to get these boys to recognize, they know P-Man, some of them might know P-Man, but they don't understand the worth of P-Man. For them to understand that...
Or want to associate.
We need to buy the property where they reside, so where it's going to be closed. I doubted it, but again, we voted, so I allowed it. But I'll tell you the truth, at the time we purchased it, we're just doing all the renovation and all that. These boys still trooping in. The younger ones, the new car, the whole of them were trooping in. They were excited that P-Man that they know is actually has actually been revived and all that. So,
so it's like this is now our P-Man.
Now, no,
they have brought it to us.
Is their own P-Man now, because I keep telling them I'm old school. Yes. But the beautiful thing, like what we keep telling them, once I leave, we're handing over to the younger ones. They are running it. We won't do that same mistake that the older ones, they want to stay put there and all that. So we're actually bringing them on board for them to understand how the structure works and how what you must do to progress and what you will do that will make you fail. So that's where we are.
Now, you said something about welfare for musicians. Now, the welfare in the Nigerian sense, it seems as if someone just takes over all your responsibilities. Is this clearly defined?
Yes, it is. For your medical insurance, is for, first, for you to understand the structure, is a group.
It's a group life thing.
Yes, a group life thing.
Group health thing.
Yes, because we are huge in number. I actually didn't know that we're this large musicians. So we're able to negotiate a reduced rate for group life and all that. Yeah. If you're a P-Man member, you get opportunity to have 4 members of your family to be looked after with insurance. Okay. Now, the insurance is basic malaria, bed rest, drip, but once it comes to critical ailment like kidney and that will require approval again from from ESCOs and all that. But the regular, you go to the hospital or your wife is pregnant, those ones have been taken care of. That's the welfare.
That's the basic one.
That's the basic one. Then the life insurance is for death and accident. Okay. In case of you have permanent disability. Okay. If it's not death, permanent disability. So that there's a particular money that will go to you for permanent disability, and there's a particular money that will go to the member of your family for that. That is for life insurance. All right. Then for pension plan, once you're 65, 70, and you've submitted your application that you are retiring from active performance. Yeah, it happens, a whole lot of them.
They submit to the union?
They submit to the union that they're retiring from active performance. So once they submit that, the process will go on, and the particular musician will be getting 100,000 monthly.
Really?
Yes.
You're saying that PMAN has that kind of
PMAN
policy in place?
PMAN has more than that. PMAN is likened to American Union structure.
Okay.
That's the way we built it. And if you've been to our edifice, our office, that is the standard. Because we have Afrobeat that has taken over the world. So these people started visiting. Like the first week we opened, we got people from America, people from Sweden and all that. It's been happening to be hosting them. So if they come, because I've been to their own offices, if they come, they're like, how did you guys get this idea? How did you build it? I remember the American people, entourage that came said, this is more like their own office.
Are you kidding?
In Nigeria. So that's what we're trying to do. We're not seeing ourselves as, I don't like using the word, we're not seeing ourselves as third world country.
As far as PMAN goes.
As far as PMAN goes, you know, as Nigeria, because we have the highest natural resources. But I keep saying management has been the issue. But
that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So that's the mentality that my team and I are working with. We are not seeing ourselves as lesser people or we're from the third world. We're seeing ourselves as God has given us everything, so we need to find a way to manage it properly.
But you see, you and your team seem to have come in with a vision. That vision we're going to discuss when we take this break. After this break, we'll come back and discuss it. Please stay tuned. Yes, welcome back. Pretty Okafor, PMAN president, is still my guest. Your team has a vision. What's the broad vision?
Putting a geopolitical structure for the music industry. What we're doing in Lagos right now and what we're doing in Abuja, before I leave, I'm sure we would have imputed it in the remaining 4 geopolitical zones. Lagos has a music academy, right? So where musicians will come and learn rudiments of music and also business of music. So we're having that in Abuja, and we're having that in the remaining 4 geopolitical zones because we want to be able to match the international popularity that's already going before our brand of music. We're doing that so that musicians can have access to the facilities.
Okay.
Right. And these other facilities will also have the radio stations inclusive in these other facilities.
Okay.
That means at the end, yes, it will be a network. So it's a planned stuff. We are also building affordable homes for musicians.
Affordable homes?
Yes, in these geopolitical zones. We've already started. It's not I told you about the radio. Radio is already on.
Yeah.
Is on your Google Play Store now. But the equipment have arrived, so it's set up. So whatever I'm saying is what is going to is a legacy. What is going to be there after my tenure, after the tenure of my other parties.
You're sounding like somebody who has made up his mind that, okay, after this period, I'm not going to be directly involved in administration of the union again.
Yeah, because we've trained a whole lot of people.
How many years have you spent?
the years of the fight and the years of the settlement, or okay,
The years of you being in the saddle.
I've just done my first.
So how many more years do you have?
I'm supposed to round up by next year.
Is it just one term?
No.
So they can still bring you back now. You see, you're sounding like, oh no, I've had enough of this wahala. I want to go and face something else.
No, because it took way too much on me, and
good things don't come easy.
And because I was smart enough, I was able to juggle my business and PMAN, but PMAN needs like 100% concentration.
Keep juggling.
And we were able to. But I also have my first vice. There's a first vice. There's a second vice. There's media. There's Rugged Man. There's Asha Gangali, Zaki Aziz, Sonny Neji, Two Face, MI. So these guys, Terry G. So these guys are learning. They've seen the successes that we've been able to achieve. So they are learning. They can go from wherever. I won't decide on the next tenor.
No,
Yes,
I will just wait. I will wait and say to you that there is the possibility that they will say, all right, let's have 4 more years of your time or 5 more years and all that. Because, you see, those geopolitical zones that you want to develop, they need the drive of someone who is the visionary. Apparently, you're the visionary. Yeah. They are supportive of the vision. They've bought into it. You can't leave it midway. You can't. So maybe I should start on their behalf, appealing to you, not to think of going anywhere. Because
no, sir, but I think I'm working with some of the smartest people in the industry.
I agree with that. And I congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
I congratulate you. Now, there's something about developing the music industry in Nigeria. You've spoken a little bit about it, but I want to particularly mention the issue of instrumentation, instrumentalists, singers going to learn how to sing, and then you said something about the business end of the music industry. How can we sustain our global attention now if we don't intentionally train musicians and hold up musicianship as a way of life?
Like you mentioned, sir, the building those structures was because we wanted to sustain the growth of Nigerian music, the growth of, I keep telling people, is what God gave us, the growth of Afrobeat. Now, is there, but we need to sustain it for the next 30 years. And sustaining it means we need to put these structures in place. So those structures are coming with music academy, music school, business academy, business school, business of music school, meaning you've gone to learn the rudiment, playing the guitars and all that, to learn to sing, write songs, but you now need to learn how to manage your talent, how to monetize every aspect of your talent, how you could coordinate the business of touring, the business of releases, record releases and all that. So that's the actual side, and that will create another empire, another brainwave of young people paying 100% attention to that business of music. So which is going to create the sustainability for our industry and the Afrobeat genre.
Yeah, but you mentioned something about managing the business of your talent, or the business of your talent. It's not everybody who can manage themselves, you know.
Yeah.
There must also be an intentional attempt to develop trust in others who can help manage.
Now, if maybe not all the superstars, A-listers, B-listers, and C-listers will have time to go to the school, right? But other music managers, business, your road manager and all that, they will go to the school. So now we're creating more employment. You the artists, the talent, we employ those people that are already be certified as gurus when it comes to business of music management and employ them.
Okay.
So that extends, that also sustains your popularity, that also sustains your touring, that also sustains your monetization in every aspect of the business.
Okay.
So these people might not have the time to go sit in a classroom and learn all that. But the road managers, the artist managers, the tour managers can learn. And now the main artists will start employing them. So it's also expanding and creating avenue for more employment.
Okay. And this you will do in all the 6 geopolitical zones?
We're already doing it in 2.
In 2.
So we'll do it in the remaining 4.
In the remaining 4. All right. We'll take a break now. When we're back, we're going to visit the Bolanle days of Pretty Okafor. Stay tuned.
Businesses in Africa can be very challenging. In Nigeria, it is particularly intimidating, and successful builders have learned how to navigate a hostile environment to unlock opportunities. But one major challenge businesses face is how to filter through the noise and identify where their ideal customers exist. Get insight and practical steps from industry players and captains of industries. Hear success stories to help you make informed decisions as you scale your business in Nigeria. Watch Business Insights at this time on Plus TV Africa.
You're welcome back. I still have Pretty Okafor. By the way, why do they call you Pretty?
My name is actually Pretty Roland Okafor. I'm actually from a royal home.
Okay.
But my first name, Pretty, is actually my native name. It's Machuku. It means beauty of God.
Well, you know.
But my mother preferred
Pretty.
instead of beauty.
Okay. Now, welcome back. We've been in the studio as we took a break. Now, Bolanle was a monumental hit of Junior and Pretty. It took you outside Nigeria, like you said. That's the album. But what would you say was responsible for the hit?
Because we were dealing with the commoners. It was the first time we bridged the gap between the young and the old, between the rich and the poor, between the high class and the low class. So everybody could understand the message. Everybody could understand the rhymes. Everybody could understand pidgin and even the vernacular, because we use the popular vernaculars. So people could associate with it. We didn't create music for one particular section of Nigeria, one particular section of people. So we created music for everybody.
Everyone.
So it was a drive that the music was for all individuals. But the truth is that we didn't even, me and Gina, we didn't even know that it was going to be that big. We didn't even know that people will accept it, because before we did Monica, we've been discouraged. Our demo tape has been thrown out from, yes, from, like I used Polygram, went to Polygram and they threw our demo tape like 5 times out from the window. And they were like, what are you guys doing? You want to do something better. But when our record label, Storm Record, discovered that this brand of music can actually sell, because they are talking to the crowd. And when they now ventured into it, releasing our first work, which is that Monica, it sold everywhere. he had sold them, they couldn't manage the hype. So they had to broker a deal for Polygram now to come into
Polygram that became Premier Music.
Yeah, the Polygram that became Premier Music. The same Polygram that threw away our demo.
So they now came back.
So he was, so that's why even with live, I do not take no for an answer. And I don't believe that to say, yeah, it's not possible, it's not in my dictionary, I don't talk about it. Just work towards it. Consistency, keep working, it's going to work.
Okay, so that's like a life lesson for you. And it's something that you use to drive yourself, drive your vision.
Yes.
Now tell me about the day the P-Man House was opened. What was that like for you and for King Sunny Ade?
You know, a whole lot of the older musicians didn't even believe that it was going to happen. When we announced that we purchased our own house, first time, not rented, a whole lot of them didn't believe it. King Sunny Ade knows us. But again, he came because he wanted to witness. He wanted to be sure. And it's actually the first time I saw King when he came actually in my office, and he was speaking to me, and I saw King was emotional about. He said, "I never thought that P-Man would ever succeed
in his lifetime."
Yes, in his lifetime. And that he's happy. Why he's like this? He's happy because it's happening while he's still alive. And that was when King actually confirmed that the property actually belongs to P-Man. Not to Pretty and his team or to Pretty, yeah. So the excitement and again the surprise, like I like pulling surprises at people. When you think it's not going to happen, I like proving you wrong. So it keep happening. I'm excited because the older people are excited. If you get into the gallery of the foyer of P-Man, you see the past P-Man leaders there. You see the legends who are on a particular wall. You won't see us there. You won't see me and my excuse because we're serving. Maybe when we're done, our pictures will be
come
there. But it shows that yes, people also contributed. We respect, we appreciate them. But again, they paved the way to a better P-Man.
Now, because there is a better P-Man now, there is the fear of continuation or continuity. How are you going to ensure? You know, I remember we were saying something like, don't run off, but there will be term or tenure limitation. Whenever that is up, how are we going to ensure that it doesn't go back again? Especially since it's been proven now that you have a large membership that is believing in the leadership. So how are you going to ensure that that belief is not wasted?
Sustainability. While managing P-Man, we're also training a whole lot of people. Fortunately, they've learned the structure of my business ethic. So this range of people that are working in P-Man now know about integrity and transparency. And that's the watchword. That's what has kept the union moving forward. And over the years, I've tested them in a couple of other things to handle. And I know that's why I said I'm fortunate to have the best brain, the best hand, the most sincere people working with me at this time. Along the line, a whole lot of people fell out of because again, you see, again when you're sincere and you're working in the truth and spirit, negativities will be falling off. So only the truth remains. So that's what has happened. I'm not scared. If I formally, I would say if I leave P-Man, they go sell the property. The radio station, they will sell it. But right now, if I leave, they can sustain it for the next, because there's a structure, there's a program, there's there's a rudiment of training that we've been able to put everybody through, and they're still going through it. So the structure has been monitored. That's why the structure has been monitored. Nobody can come in and do anything there because there's a trust that is monitoring the structure that's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so you talk about development of trust, development of musicianship and trainings. Who are your partners for these academies that you are setting up?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We have 10 strings.
Okay.
10 strings is the, should I use the words? I think the biggest music institution for the younger age.
Okay.
Now, yeah, so we're partnering with 10 strings for...
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria, yes.
Okay.
We're partnering with 10 strings for that. We're partnering with an U.S. creative industry business group. We're partnering with a Canadian music business school too for this whole academies that we're building. And we have also partnership with a bank that saw interest in what we're doing, and they partner with us all this while in managing and regulating the industry for us.
Okay, but you talked of banks. Do banks support music now?
They weren't supporting music before, but right now they are supporting music. They are supporting music because of what we've been able to create. I could tell you a bit. If you're a card carrying member, if you're a registered member of PMAN, and you need a loan to do some particular things, and you go through your application to the ESCOs and it's approved, the bank will give you the loan. The bank
because you're guaranteeing it.
Yes, because they are not going to come to that particular musician anywhere he is in the state, in 36 states. They are dealing with the ESCOs. For the ESCOs to approve, that means they know that person, they know they can. The ESCOs are going to monitor the growth of that person. So the banks, we have that agreement with the banks, and there's arrangement where we and the bank also monitor what they're doing with the money.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about the membership. You said you believe that you're over 5 million.
We are over 5 million. We're over 5 million because I break it down. A bit. I'll use the example of Burna Boy. Burna Boy is on tour. Now, Burna Boy is not on tour with himself alone or himself and his band people. No, Burna Boy is on tour with his band people, his dancers, his management team. When I say his management team, his road manager, his music manager, his top manager. He's on the road with his fashion designer. He's on tour with his makeup artist.
Is the fashion designer also a member of PMAN?
No, if he's a team.
Okay.
Wardrobe. Okay, use the word wardrobe manager.
Okay.
He's the wardrobe manager. So so wardrobe manager that works with an artist is a member of PMAN.
He's a member of PMAN.
So
must be registered.
Yes. So when he's on tour with about 60, 100, 120 people, they are all PMAN members. So when we're designing this thing, like how many years back, I was wondering how come we're this much? How do we break it down until we started doing a couple of researches? At the time me and Junior started, just me and Junior were I think we're about 22 or 24. Yes, on the road. Because our
the
Peace
act,
band.
Okay,
Our
the
Peace
act
band.
was 2.
The act was 2, but our
back,
band, another 14.
Yes.
Now you now have your manager, have your
road manager,
have your wardrobe manager, and all that. So everything was about 22 or so. So we're going on tour. That was then. So these guys go on tour with more larger people. That's why I keep telling people, they will say, the crew that are going on film sets and all that are huge. I said, no. If 5 major artists go on tour, they're already employing like about 500 people or over 1,000 people. So you understand how. I'm also giving you the statistics so you understand how we're able to make money from purchasing.
Towards purchasing.
And
then sustaining your insurance policies.
Sustaining our insurance policy, and also be able to do our license for the radio and purchase the equipment for the radio.
Okay. So when are you likely to come on the air with your radio station? That's
Yeah,
in the Lagos area?
Yes, in the Lagos area. Right now it's being installed.
Okay.
So all the equipment are in.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
it's been installed, I think with, what do you call it?
before the end of the year?
Yeah, it should be before the end of the year because they are coming to do the inspection and all that.
Inspection, oh, okay. Okay, and then the zonal offices that you're planning, or let's not use the term offices, zonal operations.
Zonal operation, yes.
You understand me?
Geopolitical operations.
Geopolitical. The control is still going to be from the head.
It's going to be
headquarters.
centralized.
Okay.
We don't want to leave any loophole in operation, right? Since we've gotten it right, we want to keep it that way.
Okay.
Because once there's a loophole, they take advantage of that. So what we've been trying to do since we got into PMAN is to close all the gaps and close all the loopholes. So the control is still going to be from Lagos. Even we're having an office in Abuja, the control is still going to be from Lagos. So whatever that's happening in Abuja, happening in these other 4 geopolitical zones will be managed from the head office, Lagos.
And all the academies that will be over the six geopolitical zones, they're going to be running the same program?
They're going to be running the same program. Now, excuse me, because people in Calabar can't come to Lagos. Because if they come to Lagos, they need to...
It will be expensive for them.
So that's why we're taking the schools and the business...
As close to them as possible.
Close to them. Now, also understand that we have a huge number that we're controlling. So if we say everybody should come to Lagos or go to Abuja, there won't be space for learning. So that's why we're creating those geopolitical zone schools that are close to where they reside.
Yeah. Now, if we go back to your personal business, you from a musician, a performing musician, you morphed into a consultant. What do you do now?
I still run it. I still run my promotion outfit. I still run my marketing communication firm. I have a technology firm. If you Google Go Create Africa, I'm the one of Go Create Africa, so I still run my technology firm.
Go Trade Africa.
Go Create.
Go Create
Go
Africa.
Create. One action word. Go Create, like go and create.
Okay.
Go Create Africa.
Yeah.
I still run it. I still own a music distribution platform.
Okay.
Go Distro.
Okay.
So somebody say my hands are full. No, I'm still young, so
You're still busy.
Still busy. That's the word.
You're still busy. Now, your vision is driven by somewhat personal commitment on your part. You told me that your children are musicians too.
Yeah. Not only at the time I came in together, I discovered that Sonny Lage's children play guitar and they sing. Zaki's children play and they sing. Then back home, my daughter plays violin. I don't get involved because I had issue with my folks. And if I had listened to them, maybe I would have been a poor man. But I refuse listening. So I refuse listening to them. So I don't try to force my kids in whatever they are doing. So I just guide them. So the drive why we're able to get PMAN together is also to prove that what if these kids decide to be musicians? Mm-hmm. Are we going to leave this whole messed up structure, messed up industry for them? At one time, they might ask, Daddy, you used to be a PMAN member. What did you people do?
What did you do?
So you understand? So I'm trying to avoid that question. That's why we paid 120% attention to get PMAN working.
Okay. So, are you satisfied with what you're doing?
Satisfaction is understatement. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I'm pleased with what we're doing, but there's opportunity of doing more. There's opportunity of getting it better because, like I said, Lagos is going to be Mecca for global music industry. we are running against the time. So the speed where Afrobeat has gotten to, we didn't know it was going to get there.
That fast.
Yeah, that fast. So we need to also keep the pace.
Yeah.
So we're doing more. There's opportunity of doing more. There's focus and consistency of doing more, and we're going to do more.
Yeah, because why I agree with you is that I was reading this song by CK, Love Wanted.
Love Wanted, yeah.
Right, that it's the first African song to achieve the 1 billion
Mark of stream, yeah.
on Spotify.
Yeah, never happened before.
No, you didn't say it, but that's unthinkable. That's unthinkable, you know.
So you understand what I'm saying? So you can
Yes.
imagine what these boys are doing. Now, the Americans and the Europeans, they are running after to catch up.
Yes.
How am I, is that the word I'm using? Am I using the right word? We're so much on a speed that they are running, trying to catch up.
Yes.
You can see what Rema is doing around
Yes,
Asia.
Rema.
So-
Even CK, I heard that he played a concert in India and the whole place was filled.
Yes. Now,
And they were singing along.
they were singing, but let me tell you, that is they are closing down stadiums that
Yes.
even the Americans couldn't do.
Yes.
So that's why back home we need to
Be organized.
properly organize.
Yes.
We need to put all our thoughts and focus together. It's an opportunity to take over the world, both in music and in structure. So we need to work towards it.
Okay. Let me wish you the very best. As
Thank
you
you, sir.
lead the team and you realize the vision that you have set for yourself. My guest has been Pretty Okafor, P-Man President, Pretty of Junior and Pretty. But more than that, he's an accomplished gentleman who sees a bright future for the performing musicians of Nigeria. Thank you very much, Pretty.
Thank you.
Nice to
Thank
see
you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Until we have another edition of the program, it's been Timeless Conversations. Have a good time.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am. If you no talk, dem go beat you. Na 2,500 they pay.
The pandemic opened the world to a new dispensation regarding work. How people work and the career paths they take differ from generation to generation. There are 5 generations present in the modern workplace, each with unique expectations and perspectives. A person's career path is described as the work they do and the roles they hold as they climb up the ladder. Before the millennium, Career paths for many was simply linear, which could be a person working at the same organization and growing there till they retired, or a person working in the same role but changing jobs a couple of times. Security and staying power were the cornerstone of this career path. However, with modern technology, a person's career path can be as multifaceted and versatile as the individual wishes. Millennials now work multiple roles in their career trajectories, pursue numerous passions that are sometimes interwoven, and work at different roles in their journeys. Baby boomers and Generation X only considered a job good if it gave them the security to work there till they retire. But for millennials and Gen Z, the workplace has changed and so has the career structure. Millennials often change their career paths or juggle multiple interests simultaneously. Being able to move from one job to another might signal a person's employability and adaptability. Baby boomers tend to believe that working long hours is what defines success and value face-to-face interactions with co-workers. In contrast, millennials believe that innovation and flexibility are key ingredients for success at work. The shift in occupational structures, for example, the increasing gig economy, is leading to polarization in employment, wages, and inequalities. From remote work policies to virtual leadership, the pandemic changed how we work. The opportunity to telework increased for some, such as knowledge workers, but not for frontline work. Is increasingly flexible and decentralized. Working from home or out of a workspace is favored by many because of the flexibility that comes with it. Millennials and Gen Zs prefer flexible work schedules and part-time hours so that they can balance their work and life compared to older generations who prefer security.
Some people are social people. When they go to the office, they have friends everywhere. Good morning. How was the football match? You just with your colleagues and stuff like that. That social element at work, a lot of people need it. Me personally, I'm an extrovert, but I'm also high on the introverted side. I like going to parties, I like making friends, but I also like keeping to myself. So at work, I'm not the friendliest. I would smile, I would say hi, but I don't need to. So it depends on your personality and what you need. For me, work from home works a lot for me because I get to spend time with my family. I'm always in the house with my partner, and that really makes me happy.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely, right? No question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 when they pay.
Is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria?
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria?
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Nigeria is a beautiful country filled with cultural resources and a preserved tradition. It is famously known as the Giant of Africa, whose cultural heritage is woven from the natural beauty in her land, threads of history, and the hospitality of her people. From rainforests in the south to savanna woodlands in the center and a semi-desert region in the north, Nigeria is adorned with long stretches of exotic beaches, lush mountains, magnificent waterfalls, and a unique wildlife, boasting of enchanting tourist attractions ready to be enjoyed. Here are some tourist destinations you should add to your bucket list. Coconut Beach. Coconut Beach is located in the coastal town of Badagry, west of Lagos State, Nigeria. No place tells the story of tourism fused with history like Badagry, which is situated about 20 miles close to the border of the Benin Republic. Coconut Beach has breathtaking and beautiful ocean views, a perfect place for relaxation, with the beach being set away from the noise of suburbia. It is surrounded by thousands of coconut trees, where it got its name from, beautiful holiday resorts, vacation huts, fresh air, and an open sky, portraying an ideal rural destination for lovers of fun and holiday makers. The the Obudu Mountain Resorts. Above the sea level, on the Oshia ridge of the famous Sankwala Mountain, sits majestically the Obudu Mountain Resort. It is located in the highlands and deep tropical forests of Cross River State, with a temperate climate and just 45 miles from the border of Cameroon. The ranch boasts of numerous pleasant mountain area and countryside views, with tourist attractions like the water park, cable car, ranch cattle and horses, waterfall, and the ancient Anapi village. The Obudu Mountain Resort is a mix of adventure, beautiful scenery, and idyllic tranquility. The Yankari Game Reserve. In Bauchi State is the Yankari Game Reserve and former National Park, one of West Africa's eco-destinations. It is home to several natural warm water springs and the biggest wildlife retreat. The reserve is filled with a number of activities that would help you connect with nature. Marvel at the largest herd of elephants in the country, embark on a guided safari tour, and explore the
On Plus TV News Now. Tonight, Tinubu pledges end to gas flaring. Appeal Court upholds Alex Otti's election as governor. And U.S. ends political mission in Sudan. Israel calls off truce talks in Qatar. Good evening. I am Ifeanyi Elumezim. This is the news now. President Bola Tinubu on Saturday pledged Nigeria's commitment to end gas flaring as part of its contribution to the global push to reduce methane emissions. Tinubu told world leaders on Saturday at the COP28 summit on methane and other non-CO2 greenhouse gases in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Tinubu spoke alongside the COP28 President Dr. Ahmed Al-Jaber, the United States Special Envoy on Climate John Kerry, and the Chinese Envoy on Climate Xie Zhenghua, saying Nigeria has incentives and punitive measures to encourage compliance and punish defaulters. Commending the Emirati government for its drive to reduce GHGs, the president welcomed new developments made by the entities, harping on the need for participants to implement their net zero commitments. Tinubu called out the world's biggest economies, the US and China, who he said are the biggest culprits in GHG emissions, urging them to act real fast because the earth needs urgent healing. Nigeria will continue to engage with the government of Niger Republic to ensure the release of the country's deposed President Mohamed Bazoum. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuga has said Bazoum has not been released since the junta struck in the West African country earlier in the year, but Tuga said Nigeria, which plays a critical role in the economic community of West African states ECOWAS bloc, won't relent on pressing for Bazoum's freedom. Speaking on the sidelines of the United Nations Climate Conference in Dubai, the minister said Nigeria is not under any pressure to act against the Niger Republic. The Court of Appeal in Lagos has dismissed the appeals brought by the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the All Progressive Congress (APC) and their governorship candidates against the election of Governor Alex Otti of Abia State. In a unanimous decision on Saturday, the three-man appeal court panel upheld the victory of Otti at the polls, saying that it conformed with the provisions of the Electoral Act. The court said issues of political party membership is a pre-election matter which also falls within the jurisdiction of the political party. It further said since Otti joined the Labour Party, won its primary election and submitted his name to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), he was qualified to contest. On the issues of bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) brought by the PDP and its candidate, the appeal court said the appellants failed to demonstrate or link their documentary evidence to the specific parts of the case. The judgment has sparked celebration among the supporters of Governor Otti in some parts of the state. The People's Democratic Party in Abia State has reacted to the appeal court judgment that upheld the victory of Alex Otti as the duly elected governor of Abia State. The governorship candidate of the PDP, Oke Ahiwe, urged his supporters to remain calm in the face of what he described as eclipse of transitional sunset. PDP, in a statement signed by Abraham Amma, its vice chairman and acting publicity secretary in Abia State, said it was meeting with its candidates and his running mates to review the judgment and come out with the next line of action. While reiterating its confidence in the judiciary as the last hope of the common man and one of the strongest pillars of democracy, the PDP sued for calm among its party members and supporters in the face of the loss. The governorship candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) for Taraba State in the 2023 general election, Professor Sani Yahaya, has rejected the recent judgment of the appeal court in Abuja. The candidate, who has resolved to proceed to the Apex Court to seek redress, said he's optimistic about reclaiming the mandate given to him by Tarabans. Speaking at a media briefing in Jalingo, the state capital, he criticized the judgments of both the tribunal and the appeal court, labeling them a miscarriage of justice and lacking fairness. Expressing his discontent to take the battle to the Apex Court, he urged his supporters to remain calm by eschewing acts capable of igniting dust. Determined to reclaim what he believes is his mandate, he said he was optimistic that the Supreme Court will not tow the paths of the tribunal and that of the appeal court. The professor, who said he had approached the appeal court with the expectation of receiving justice, expressed disappointment that his appeal was dismissed. The appointment of Interim Management Committee for the 18 local government areas and 33 local government Council Development Areas (LCDAs) by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has been greeted by resignations and protests. Leaders of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in many of the LCDAs said the list was doctored. Ondo Assembly has screened and cleared the 51 caretaker committees. Senator Jide Ipinshagba, representing Ondo North, rejected the persons nominated and cleared for Akoko North East local government. He said the list was contrary to the agreed nominations by stakeholders from the locality. Youths from Ararami Obu stormed the streets of Akure to protest the appointment of non-indigenes as chairman and vice chairman of Ifesowakpo LCDA. The protesting youths said the nomination and appointment of Mr. Olariwaju Makinde and Mr. Giwa Rashid as the chairman and vice chairman respectively failed to reflect the spirit of fairness to Ararami Obu as the host community and the indigenes of the town. Joining us to look at the political impasse of Ondo State. Moving on, Saturday local government election held across Ekiti State recorded low turnout as some residents boycotted the poll. The opposition People's Democratic Party also did not participate as East Southwest Publicity Secretary Sonia Atofarati earlier in the week alleged that the state's Independent National Electoral Commission is being compromised by the ruling party. Meanwhile, Governor of Ekiti State Biodun Oyebanji, who voted in Ikokosi Ekiti, preached peace on election day as he also called for more voter enlightenment. The Speaker of the state legislature also highlighted the need for continued voter sensitization on the importance of local government.
I've spoken to them. I've told people to come out and vote to maintain peace, and that may the best candidate, may the best party win the election. And I'm happy that we have done this in Ekiti State. We just spent 1 year in office, and we are now conducting local government elections in Ekiti State. I'm so happy because the people on their own will have the opportunity to choose their representative at local government level and at the ward level. So far so good. The turnout is a bit low, and that tells me that we need to do more about voters' education and mobilization. But by and large, at least, we are fulfilling what the Constitution asks us to do.
Like the state chapter have made known to the public, we are not participating in the election. And our reason is very simple. The constitution of the EXIEC, the electoral body for the state, is being compromised. Compromised in the sense that you have two card-carrying members of the opposition party, the APC, that are members of the committee. How do you expect transparency in that regard? How do you expect equity? So our party felt that it will endanger the lives of our members to go into such election because their manipulation will be resisted at the poll. And that is the reason why we have decided to boycott in the interest of the peace of the state.
So why opposition party are not participating in this election? Well, I wouldn't know, but I will also say that it's important for people to participate in, particularly in the local government elections. It's very, very critical, important, because this is the only platform that actually reach to the grassroots.
We'll take a short break and we'll come back. The news continues.
An African girl somewhere is sitting at home, accompanied by dreams that seem so far away. Africa is one of the continents with the highest out-of-school percentage in education, and girls are at an early disadvantage. The sub-Saharan Africa records about 18 million out-of-school girls. This gender gap extends to the tech space with a projection of only a 33% global female workforce representation in tech firms for 2022. Let us help change the stories and numbers. Africa Agility's Project Train a Girl campaign is working to help train African girls in tech. You can donate as little as $2 or 2,000 naira to help a girl in tech get her heels in the door. Visit www.africaagility.rallyup.com/PTAG to donate.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the Babin, I pay my rent. On the Babin, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region
from where the black gold fuels Africa's largest economy, where the lines between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Conflicts, poverty, insecurity, and environmental challenges daily confront the region. How can the Niger Delta story be changed for the better?
Join Mamude Akuga at 9 p.m. every Friday evening on Plus TV Africa as he probes deep in search of solutions.
Inside the Niger Delta with Mamude Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect am.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 they pay.
Is it for upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria?
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Bookie November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
Transportation in major cities in Nigeria has taken a different turn since the introduction of ride-hailing services enabled by technology. It has provided employment for many and made transportation easier and relatively cheaper. However, because of its peculiarity, the dynamic between drivers and passengers comes with its own conflicts. Drivers and passengers often complain about their interactions with one another. Many issues like courtesy on the part of passengers and drivers, being kept waiting for too long, where a passenger chooses to sit for the ride, the direction of the trip, and many more are some of the causes for conflict in this short relationship. Lawo, a hail ride driver, shares some of his experiences.
At times, some of them will set location. The map or the app will automatically give them another location. So by the time you get to the location, on the address, you call them, they tell you, sorry, I'm sorry, I should have told you. The map used to do like that, used to take people to another state, go and turn and come back. You know, that can be ridiculous. And at times, you know, the Lagos traffic, whatever, that the route you pass now, or probably before you even got through, it was hell. Now, having to go back, it can be very irritating.
How is this relationship supposed to be navigated? Mutual respect is key, and under no circumstances should riders or drivers disrespect the other. Riders should respect the vehicle they are in and should leave the vehicle in the condition in which they found it. Unruly behavior such as damaging the vehicle is not tolerated. Using bad language is also not tolerated. Being aggressive or discriminatory can also get a rider banned from using the app. Although friendly conversation doesn't do any harm during a trip, respect should be upheld at all times. Both riders and drivers should give each other space and should not make each other feel uncomfortable. Getting to a destination safely is a top priority. This is why drivers need to adhere to the rules of the road, for example, by sticking to the speed limit, not driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, not texting while driving. Drivers should always take a break if they are tired. Riders should play their part by wearing their seatbelts and not trying to cram in extra people when there aren't enough seatbelts. Riders also need to refrain from bringing alcohol or banned substances into the vehicle and should not ask a driver to go faster than the speed limit. As a rider, request your ride inside. To minimize the time that you're standing outside by yourself with your phone in your hand, instead, wait inside until the app shows that your driver has arrived. Check your ride. Every time you take a trip, ensure you're getting into the right car or the right driver by matching the license plate, car make and model, and driver photo with what's provided on your app. Have the driver confirm your name. In addition to the check your ride safety steps, you can also ask the driver to confirm your name before you get in the car. Your driver sees your first name in your app and your driver's first name is displayed to you in your app. Be a backseat rider. Whenever possible, sit in the back seat, especially if you're riding alone. This helps ensure that you can safely exit on either side of the vehicle to avoid moving traffic, and it gives you and your driver some personal space. Share your trip details with loved ones. While en route, tap Share Trip Status in the app to share your driver's name, photo, license plate, and location with a friend or family member. Be kind and respectful. Please respect fellow passengers and your driver and their car. As for drivers, here are the standard procedures required.
After a rider books a ride, you drive immediately to the location. And then until you get to the location, you don't click arrive, which most drivers, that is where they have their own faults too. So immediately they pick your ride, they click arrive. And normally, the app owners have given 5 minutes of grace. The moment you get to a place, after 5 minutes, the person doesn't come out. It will start charging the person a certain amount of money. So but by the time you click arrive, when the trip is, when getting to the location will take you 9 minutes, and you have clicked arrive. So 4 minutes into his own time, you have started charging him, and you have not even at the location yet. Now, that is actually not good. which I hardly do. The only time I do it is when I'm booked in an estate and I get to the gate and they say call the person to come out. Immediately before I call the person, I click arrive because that's the estate. So having to navigate my way through that is own cup of tea. When I click arrive, then the person has 5 minutes before he will start being charged by the app. So after 5 minutes that I've clicked arrive, the person will start being charged. Then once the person gets in and will click start, then I'll ask the person, can we move? He say yes. Then I'll click starting up of the trip. So once I click on that, the trip starts. Then we continue moving.
For a lot of people, the Nigerian dream is to leave the country onto greener pastures. But the irony is the treacherous experiences they have to face to get to these so-called greener pastures. Just like the stories of Azu and many who were tricked into what they thought was a better life, in fact, turns out to be the worst experience they never dreamt of.
Before I left Nigeria, I was doing a business. I was selling food with my mom in a particular oil company, and also I was a teacher. So I was doing the two together, assisting mom in the shop and also teaching in a school. So once school closes, in the morning before leaving, I help her with cooking, putting things together, buying the drinks, arranging everywhere. Then I go to work, and then when I come back, I continue. But before then, I was in school. I was supposed to graduate. I studied architecture, Enugu State University of Science and Technology. So in my finals, that was 2014, I found out that I had a lot of issues. It actually started when I got into school. I got into school 2010. It was 29-10 set. So when we got into school, school fee was increased from 72,000 to 102. So from that 102, it was very difficult for me to get my school fee the way I was supposed to get it. Like, the first school fee was easy, but then subsequently, it became really hard for my dad to put it together. So I paid my fees late. Now, ESUT had this policy that if you pay your school fee, you get exam number. So almost all my exams from the second year till final year was written without exam number. So during the time they were publishing, because what they do is in the final exams, they will write out all your outstanding results. You look for them, either go to the lecturers and look for them, and then at the end of the day, the ones you can't find, you will write. So I saw about 29. I started moving around, going to lecturers. It was as if they would say signing in and out, no recording. Signing in and out, no recording. So the whole thing got so complicated. It was just something I couldn't take. Well, I wasn't patient enough to go to as many lecturers as I could, but getting from my HOD, the head of department as at then, he just told me, this is the much we can do searching for all of this, because even his own course then, he was taking construction methods, even his own course then was not recorded. So he just told me, if my own course is not recorded, it means every other one you've written wasn't also recorded. So I assumed that was it. Getting home that day, I cried a lot. I called home. I told my dad. He was like, be patient. Just try and see if you can look for them. I just quietly packed my bags. Without deferring the admission, without doing anything, I just packed my bags and I left. After everything, then I've started this teaching, and then I joined mom. I met someone who was really interested in me, and he told me he wants to get married. I just felt like, okay, you can handle this, you can get married and all of that. So In the long run, I got pregnant, and I think that was what ended the relationship because he insisted get rid of the pregnancy. I was pretty sick. I was very sick, so I think he couldn't handle the stress and all of that. He said, get rid of the pregnancy. In my family, you don't do that. And that was my very first pregnancy, so everyone was like, you were not there. I gave birth to this baby. So 4 months down the line, that was 2017, I gave birth 2017 March. 4 months down the line, family got a call that the people abroad will need 4 people. So they are like extended family relations. They are not really very close to us. I don't even know them. Like, I've never met them, but some of my cousins have. So those ones that have are the ones that were contacted. And then I didn't even have an idea because my baby was just very tender about 4 months after, you know, so they started talking about it. I was hearing mom on calls constantly. They were talking about they need someone, or she should see if I can agree. My younger sister was still in school. She was in her, I think, in her 2nd year or so. So since I was the only one who is out of school, they can't talk to my younger brother about that because he also is in school. So since I was the only one who was out of school, every eye was on me, despite the fact that I just had a baby. So my mom talked to me. I said no. And then the idea was, my baby is still tender. I can't travel with my baby and walk. So she said, my mom is very young. So she said she will take care of the baby for me to travel. Mom said, this is more like an opportunity for you to do everything you want to do. You want to go to school, you can work there, go to school and do everything. So that was everyone's idea, except my dad, my younger sister, and I. No one talked to my younger brother about it because he was not around, he was in Auchi then. So I think we were standing alone. All my aunties were with my mom. So one of them invited me over that night. She sat me down, you know, you're working really hard, you go to farm, because when I gave birth to my baby, I was now trying very hard to see that there's no lapses in the family. We all hands on deck, kind of. Let everyone work hard to make sure that everything is going on well. So you work really hard. So for me, this is like an opportunity. And then she had her son that just left to Ghana. I don't know what was going on with the guy as at then. So I didn't really ask if he was doing well. But for me, everyone believes he's doing well. So these opportunities too, for me, you have to. So when she explained everything, told me, you need to really try this out because this is like an option that will help you to stop the suffering. You're going to farm, you're doing a lot of things. Just try this option. That night was the night I now decided, okay, since everyone is saying they will take care of my son, I'll go. They told us France, the 3 of us, 3 ladies, and then the guy, Italy. They are my cousins as well. So 2 ladies plus me, that's 3. Then the guy, because they said 3 ladies and a guy, then the guy was to stop at Italy. It's not like the guy is joining us to France. So that was it. We left. Okay, there was no plan, no process. That's the truth. There was no process. They just told me, pack your bags, meet us in Benin. So I packed my bags. And then while packing your bags, make sure you have like 2-3 trousers. Make sure you have like a sweater, a thick one, because it's really cold over there in Europe. Make sure you have, they just told us a few things that they felt was necessary that we should have with us. So those were the things I put together. And then I got myself a backpack. I made sure I bought enough food for my son. Someone I initially planned I was going to do exclusive breastfeeding for. I had to cut short at 4 months just to join them. So we got to Benin, spent about 2 days there preparing. No serious preparation. They were just telling us they are preparing the documents, everything will be, we'll get all of them in Abuja. When we get to Abuja, that the people over there, they are the ones who would give us the necessary requirements. So it was just like, we just came there for brief information and then we left. We got to Kano, we passed the night in Kano. But before Kano was when I started suspecting that something is not really going on right. We're trying to enter the north then. Some of these NDLEA, these drug enforcement agency, they saw us and the man was like, everyone in this bus calm down. We all came down. I even felt maybe they wanted to search the guys. But funny enough, they took all bags. It was more like they took the young people's bags and then they kept it in one place. They would open it, not them. I don't tell you, they said not them. I'm like, madam, I don't have anything in my bag. So I was getting really scared. But the guy with us was like, calm down, nothing is going on. They just want to check. And he already had an idea of what was going on. So when they checked, they asked every one of us to pay 2,000. So the other girl, I don't know her, we just met in the bus, was putting on this long dress. Is it Jalamia they call it? Something like that. That was what she was putting on. And then she was just saying a lot of things. Not be travel, they travel. Not be travel, they travel. And not commit any crime. Or now, you know, she was saying a lot of things. And she wasn't even using any polite language, like, you know, talking to officers.